I feel like the Niners offense, while it is cutting edge in terms of like concepts and play design, I feel like it might be getting a little passed up in terms of it's a 3 down offense. And I think the teams that went the furthest last year, all the teams that were in the championship games all had 4 down offenses. Where if it was 4th and 4, 4th and 5, they were going to go for it in a lot of different situations. And they had a lot of different plays. They felt confident in those 4th and manageable situations because they have a mobile quarterback and they can run all those different quarterback runs. They could run a zone read, pick up 3 yards. They could do that with Jaden Daniels, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes. And if you are committed to going for it on 4th and short, it changes 3rd down. All of a sudden, defensive coordinators can't blitz as much because you can run the ball and might. And I feel like those teams have 4 down offenses are sort of the future and maybe the present. And until the Niners start building in some quarterback-driven runs for Brock Purdy, they're just not going to have a 4 down offense. It's going to. I mean, he's a good quarterback sneaker, but I think they need to develop this part of their offense, or they're going to get left behind. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he could do it because his 10. I mean, it's funny because his 10-yard splits from certain people do get like a little blown up. Which look, he's good, quick and short quickness areas for sure. But once you get past that 5-10 yards,
his own read. Has he ever called his own read for Brock Purdy? I think he could do it. He called it for CJ Beathard.
I just think when you have like others like McCaffrey and everyone who excels in short areas that you can just give the ball to, it's risk versus reward, right? Like, do I trust? Would I rather put exposure to Purdy in this situation than just try to get him on McCaffrey on a 2-yard dump or something like that? Like, what would be better? Like, I just look, he's good. Here's the thing. I don't think he actually would be good with that. I think he's good now because he's a scrambling quarterback. He's not a running quarterback. You don't want zone read. Like, for example, Rodgers was a scrambling quarterback. You can play Aaron Rodgers back in the day on a zone read? Like, I wouldn't do that.
No,
he was definitely a scrambling quarterback.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put, I just don't want to put it. And I think that's their limitation. Not everyone can have those things with like the Mahomes. And look, Purdy's probably a little faster than Mahomes, I feel like. But at least Mahomes, it's like, come on, like that guy's, we just talked about Purdy's not a playmaker. That's a playmaker. You're going to put the ball in his hands, like to try to go like scramble or a zone read. Sure. Where he does a little swing and just tuck. I think that'd be the only thing I'd be willing to see from the 49ers, like play action. He's going to hold and tuck it or just run. And they kind of do already allow him to do that. It's just not, designated like he's just going to take off and go for it.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've seen this as a big evolution the last couple of years. I mean, 5 years ago, teams didn't go for it on 4th down that much.
Yeah.
Now, the Lions and Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell do it all the time. The Ravens do it all the time. The Commanders, the Eagles, it's like the new thing to do. And if you remember, I think the Niners are doing it more and more. But 2021 NFC Championship game, I looked it up real quick. That was against the Rams. They had the lead with 10 minutes left and lost. They punted the ball from Rams territory twice and once from midfield.
I hated that one.
Like you just can't play like that anymore. And teams don't play like that anymore. And I think maybe they did it because their quarterback was Jimmy Garoppolo, but that's all the more reason to bring in a quarterback who can run, like really run, not just scramble. It opens up a whole nother down of offense for you. It changes everything. Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use promo code COHN, COHN, and download the app now.
Those punts in the 21 championships are way more detrimental to that team's the 49ers success than the Jaquazi Tartt pick to me, because you were freaking grasping for it. They were dying. They were like someone in the desert dying for water. And the moment they got water by actually getting into Rams territory, you guys blundered it and just 4th down and 1. Like, how many times are you going to get over here? Go for the freaking, like, you can't kick it. Like, no, you have to go for it. And they just lost it. Cause it's like, they barely got there in the first place. What makes anyone think like, oh, it's Jaquazi Tartt picked it. They're now the 49ers at their own 30. Like, you think they were just going to trot back there so easily because they had so much success before? Like, no. So, I mean, it's just, I just think like those examples you gave, like who are their quarterbacks? And one team actually just has a freaking diabolical head coach who likes to go for it on 4th down. It's like, nope, this Dan Campbell would hit on an 18 in blackjack. So, I mean, I'm not sure I necessarily want to sit next to that guy. The rest of them actually have those quarterbacks necessary. You could try it with Brock, but the moment he gets hurt, it's like, damn, that was dumb. God, why did we do that? That was not worth it. That was so risky.
Yeah.
You know what? How about this? I'll level with you. Do it in a playoff game, not in a regular season game, or a must-win game like late in the season.
I just, my hot take is that like running a quarterback for 4 yards on a zone read and you're just asking him to like get out of bounds and get the first down is probably safer than asking him to drop back in the pocket. Like, I'm not asking, like, what they did with Trey Lance, like, run between the tackles. Like, don't ever do that with Brock Purdy. But on a 4th and 3, if he's in the gun and he, shows it to Christian McCaffrey, no one's going to be like, oh, Brock might keep it. I mean, he's never kept it in his whole life. And it's McCaffrey. I think it would work, man. I think it would work. Of course, you have to read it out. And if the guy crashes on McCaffrey, it's free 4 yards. Take it. I think he could do it. Steve Young was on the radio and said he thought he could do it too. And if Steve says it, I believe it because I love Steve Young, my favorite player of all time. Steve never got a zone read. Can you imagine how freaking good Steve Young would have been if that play existed?
He would have racked up a lot more rushing yards for sure.
He really should have been the greatest quarterback of all time. He's ahead of his time.
That 1999.
Can I say that he was so much more gifted and talented than Joe Montana? Can you say that on a Niners stream in 2025?
Yeah, because I don't think that's polarizing or extremely hot take. Probably
he was just as accurate as Joe Montana statistically, and just
I have
so much more of an athlete.
I have a bunch of 49er family friends and who like will say Montana was the best, but they'll probably say Young was better. You know, if that makes sense.
I mean, Montana was the best because he's the greatest Super Bowl quarterback of all time.
Decorated, right?
Yeah, I mean, in the biggest games, he came through.